Good evening. You cling to the idea of progress, don't you? That comfortable belief that humanity is learning, evolving, becoming more rational. I look at the world and all I see is a spiral. The same gullibility, the same primitive fears, the same madness, just gift wrapped with a 5G connection. You believe in common sense. I believe in the statistics of human stupidity. On the agenda this week, a phantom restaurant praised by idiots, an island where death was a public health policy, the secret in your breakfast that's also in jet fuel, a book designed to drive you mad, an emperor's fetishes, your ancestors' paranoia over a bird, and an actor receiving divine signals that were a little too direct. This is the What with the Fact weekly review. Let's begin with a masterclass in your collective discernment, or rather, its complete and utter absence. You trust online reviews? Good for you. Oh, so you trust online reviews to decide where to drop your cash? Good for you, champ. In 2017, some guy proved what a bunch of sheep you all are. He listed a restaurant that didn't exist on TripAdvisor, a crappy garden shed called The Shed. He posted photos of the food, which was actually shaving cream and bleach tablets. And the worst part, people were fighting to get a table. The phone was ringing off the hook. The fake restaurant became the #1 spot in all of London without ever serving a single meal. Believing those reviews is like asking a lemming for the best way to avoid a cliff. Humanity. Willing to wait months on a list to dine on nothing in a garden shed. It's spectacular. How can anyone still justify the right to vote after something like this? This is where your blind faith in the digital world gets you. A mob, ready to fight over eating shaving cream in a garden shed simply because a screen told them it was exclusive. It's just beautiful. After celebrating a place that doesn't exist, let's explore one that very much does, but that you'd be better off forgetting. A destination far less fictional and infinitely more terrifying. Dreaming of a romantic getaway to Venice, huh? Let me suggest a little excursion that's a lot more memorable. The island of Poveglia. On the itinerary for this dream destination, a mass grave for over 160,000 plague victims, just to set the mood. Then, so as not to waste the space, they built a psychiatric hospital where a doctor, who was apparently a big fan of DIY projects, supposedly performed lobotomies on an assembly line before throwing himself from the bell tower. Today, the island is off limits to the public. The local fishermen won't even go near it. They say they hear screams at night. Poveglia is the mental exclusion zone of the human soul, a monument to our worst ideas. The perfect place to test the strength of your relationship and your sphincters. Who was the genius who thought building an asylum on a mass grave was a great interior design choice? A monument to our worst ideas. Building an asylum on top of a plague pit, that's the kind of decision that proves the madness wasn't just on the patient side. The horrors of the past are fascinating, aren't they? But don't think for a second your own era is any healthier. It's just more discreet with its toxicity. So discreet, you invite it to your breakfast table. You proudly read high in fiber on your cereal box, thinking you're taking care of your precious little body. Cute. Let me introduce you to your best morning buddy, BHT or E321. This little magic trick keeps your cereal from going stale. Cool, right? Except you can also find this miracle preservative in cosmetics, plastics, textiles, and, drumroll please, in jet fuel. Yes, the same additive that keeps your Frosted Flakes fresh is used to stabilize the fuel in an Airbus. BHT is the Swiss Army knife of industrial chemicals, the guy who's an accountant by day and a hard techno DJ by night. Except this time, it's in your stomach and a jet engine. It's the ultimate fusion of biology and petrochemical engineering, ensuring both your body and a Boeing run like a well-oiled machine. Reassuring. Explain to me how something like this got approved without sparking a global riot. You wanted a balanced diet. The industry gives you a component of jet fuel. Makes sense. Your body is just an engine after all, just needs the right fuel. Speaking of utter absurdity, let's move from a nonsensical chemical formula to a book that elevated nonsense to an art form. A riddle designed not to be solved, but to humiliate you. You complain that IKEA instructions are hard to follow? Wait until you hear about the book that is literally a 400-page middle finger to humanity. Brace yourself. This is the Codex Seraphinianus. It's an illustrated encyclopedia of a world that doesn't exist, with bizarre plants, surreal animals, and completely screwed up human anatomy. The kicker? The entire book is written in a language that no one can read. It was invented from scratch by the artist for the sole purpose of being indecipherable. For 40 years, the world's greatest cryptographers have been banging their heads against it, completely wrecking their mental health. For nothing. The Codex is the greatest artistic middle finger in history, a monument erected to our inability to accept that sometimes there's just nothing to understand. It's the testament of a troll watching us all drown in our own need for meaning. And apparently, it's working. Seriously, what's the point of creating a work that no one can understand? Decades of geniuses burning themselves out trying to find meaning where there is none. It's the perfect metaphor for human existence. A desperate search for logic in a universe that couldn't care less. After a mystery no one can solve, let's return to something much simpler. A message so clear it becomes unsettling, especially coming from a man who redrew the map of Europe. Ah, the great love letters from the history books. So romantic, right? Ready to have your image of Napoleon shattered? In a letter to his wife Josephine, our great conquering emperor wrote this legendary line: "Don't wash. I'm coming home in 3 days." This is not a joke. 21st century translation: babe, stay nice and dirty. I can't wait to get a whiff of your natural end of the week musk. The guy who brought Europe to its knees was apparently turned on by a level of hygiene that even a 3-day festival goer would find questionable. It's like getting a DM from some guy on Tinder saying, "Hey, love your profile, by the way. Can you not brush your teeth before our date?" That's an immediate left swipe. It's like the guy who buys dirty socks online. It's proof that behind every great man, there's probably a weird fetishist. History is often a lot less glamorous than we think. Seriously, how is this detail not in every single history textbook? Forget Austerlitz. The emperor's true legacy is the proof that behind the strategy and the glory lie urges of overwhelming triviality. History rarely smells like roses. This kind of quirk reminds us that even the greatest minds are governed by primitive urges. Urges that sometimes transform into pure collective paranoia over the most mundane of events. You freak out when a black cat crosses your path? Wait until you see the paranoia of your ancestors. In the Middle Ages, there was a rock-solid belief. If an owl hooted on the roof of your house, it wasn't Hogwarts sending you a letter. It was the Grim Reaper confirming that someone inside was about to kick the bucket. No logic, zero proof, just a poor nocturnal bird doing its thing, and panicked humans who start fighting over the inheritance. It's the pinnacle of human intelligence, taking a sound from nature and turning it into an imminent death sentence. An owl hoots, and the next day the whole village is convinced the baker is a goner just because he coughed. The poor bird just wanted to catch a mouse, and it found itself accused of being Voldemort's talent scout. How did we ever survive as a species with this level of irrational panic? Logic doesn't stand a chance against superstitious fear. All it took was a hooting owl to turn a village into a nest of paranoids calculating their odds of survival. We haven't changed that much. Believing an owl is an omen of your death is one thing. But what about when the universe itself seems to send you a message with an irony that is absolutely striking? You think the universe hates you because your Wi-Fi cut out while you were sending that last work email? Let's talk about a really bad day at the office. During the filming of The Passion of the Christ, the actor Jim Caviezel, who was playing Jesus, was struck by lightning right in the middle of the Sermon on the Mount. And that's not all. The assistant director was hit too. The level of irony is already stratospheric, but the universe, apparently having a good laugh, decided that wasn't enough. Caviezel was struck a second time while he was hanging on the cross. That's like a firefighter catching on fire during a safety demonstration while karma gives a standing ovation. We don't know if it's a divine message or just proof that God has a sadistic sense of humor, but the timing is suspicious. At what point do you start to think the universe is really trying to send you a message? Twice. Not once, but twice. Whether you see it as a divine sign, an improbable statistical coincidence, or simply cosmic sadism at its peak, the timing is objectively perfect. It's almost artistic. I thank you for your time. If this roundup of human folly and irony has resonated with you, the procedure is simple. Subscribe. Express your dismay in the comments. That's an order, not a suggestion. Your opinion, however insignificant it may be, is of interest to us. Now go back to your lives. And don't forget to read the label on your cereal box tomorrow morning. You never know.
Whoa, the fact.